Class is in session. This is Professor Ganymede. In this video, we're going to be going over a tournament match from Lucio main, GrandMaster Lucio main, Frogger. Some of you may know him. We're still trying to learn how to best play the new Lucio, so we're going to see how he's played in recent tournaments after the changes. He submitted the gameplay to my Discord, so I encourage you guys to do so if you want your videos reviewed, and we're all just going to learn today. So, hey, thanks Frogger for sending this gameplay. Let's break it down. We're just going to analyze this gameplay. I'm going to listen to the comms. Alright, so he actually used the speed buff on his Tracer right off the get-go to push her in. And he's actually staying back here. Their Winston gets picked off, so they fall back. He moves in, tries to reinforce his team, get the damages on Genji, and he actually does pick up that Genji. So he actually moved in, reinforced his team, and so he plays the bodyguard playstyle as well. Especially in tournament matches when your team is coordinated, the bodyguard playstyle is very effective. I said that I don't think that Lucio is a support, mostly because of competitive games where you have to pick up some kills in order to carry. But in highly coordinated matches, he can still play the support because you don't want to be playing all super risky. So he does play the support role in these tournament matches or high like GrandMaster matches. All right, so he's just playing back, getting the amp on his teammate. Let's see how he plays this Winston. He's kind of just backing up. He's actually playing, if you notice, very far back away from his team, and he's only going up very. He's not always within range of his team. I mean, his aura range is only 10 meters, but he is going up very rarely. So he goes in, picks off that Zenyatta, and then duels this Tracer, and he does lose the duel. I think the Tracer picked up that health pack. So I wonder if it would have been worth it if he had actually picked up that Tracer kill, because you saw that the enemy team pushed forward anyway. But they would probably regroup, and he'd probably be okay with dying because his team had already died, so he might want to die as fast as possible. Now that they got the pick, you'll see this very consistently. He speeds his team in with the speed buff, so he's on speed. Like, just notice what aura he is on as he moves in. Get that pick, move in with the speed buff. Now that they got the stagger on the enemy, they're just gonna pull back. They don't have to kill everyone on the enemy team. Just the stagger to delay the enemy's push. And now what is he doing here? What is he trying to do? He's gonna delay the point a little bit and then amp. Okay, his team has some ults, I think. No, they're just gonna use the payload to delay here. So they're just pushing forward. There was the soldier ult that you guys couldn't hear, and then they dropped the Zenyatta ult in response to that after a while. And he just playing back, seeing who needs his help, getting the knockback on his team. And he did drop the beat here. I don't think he dropped this in combination with any particular person. He just kind of dropped the beat just to delay the point. So, and then they lose the fight anyway. So, yeah, just to go to show, like, when you're using your ult in, when it's not in combination with your team's ults or to counter an enemy ult, it's very variable in its results. Okay, so now his team just regrouping here. His team's just regrouping. Let's see. Okay, he's moving forward with his team with the speed buff, moving forward with his Tracer. Now, is he gonna go up and move with his Winston? What is he gonna do? He's gonna jump. He's just gonna jump on the car here. He's gonna go up on the car, use the car as a line of sight as he fights this soldier. Good. And then he knocks soldier into the wall. You'll see Lucio's doing that. Now what he's doing right here, he's trying to be evasive. He's like moving his camera around. He was just trying to be evasive. But you saw him knock soldier into that wall. You'll see a lot of high levels Lucios do that because the person becomes really easy to shoot once they're knocked into a wall because you can track their trajectory. So that's something you might want to implement yourselves. Now he's jumping back on the point again, getting the heal, dropping the heal down on this soldier, but he's actually just gonna move in with his Winston to back up and reinforce his Winston. Winston is actually one of the heroes that's really good to actually pocket because you really make him better with your speed. And Winston does 60 damage a second, so if you can add to that, you can, and he's going after an important target, which he usually is, then you can probably secure some key kills. So if you're having trouble in your games, try to pocket someone, either Winston, maybe a Diva, maybe your DPS. Try to pocket them and try to allow them to do what they need to do a little bit better. So now he's going after the Tracer, who's trying to push the point. And they actually end up picking the Tracer up because he has good aim. So that's always nice. Now the Winston goes in. He gets picked off. And he wasn't in time to go and try to save that Winston. And he just kind of like harassing. He's like harassing like a bee with his Tracer. So he's following his Tracer. He's following his DPS in. But now his team calls to back up, and he's going to back. Him and his Tracer are going to back out. Oh, but Tracer gets hit by the Helix rocket. The struggles. The struggles are real. Tracer, but yeah, they pushed a little bit far forward there. They did call the backup, but they just didn't back up fast enough. And then because Tracer, that soldier knew exactly where Tracer was going. And now the enemy Genji has his. Oh, let's see what he plays. He just gonna shoot at the Genji, help force out the deflect. And he also hears the enemy soldier ultimate, so he's just gonna stay safe up here, and he's gonna go down to contest. But I think he's just going down here just to die because his team has died recently. So if he dies very close to the time when his team died, then he can regroup with his team faster. So, and it is you know, if he got to kind of go suicide, they reduces the chances that he's gonna stagger. So he just wants to die as fast as possible once his team gets wiped, so he can regroup with them. Now he's going to use the speed buff to move his team in. And again, he used the predictable trajectory of the hero once he knocked him back to actually hit with those shots. I've been practicing that myself. Now he drops the B, and he's going to move in with for the Zenyatta. So you notice there's actually a little bit of aggression there. So he dropped the B, sped his team in, and then he kind of went past his team. Wasn't looking at them, so he wasn't in a position to support them, and just ran towards the back line to get that Zenyatta because he's pretty good at killing Zenyatta. And then Tracer had to pull back to reinforce the Zenyatta. Now he's going back for the back line again. Now he's actually pocketing his Winston here. And he actually does back off. He doesn't move that far forward. He sees the fight is won. He wants to be safe. So you will see a lot pocketing a person who does a lot of damage. And also helping, either going to the back line yourself when you see the opportunity. Once the fight actually begins, not before the fight starts, but once the fight has actually begun and he's sped the team and everyone's fighting and the enemy team is distracted and it makes it so the back line is harder to protect, that's where he'll run into the back line to try to get some the damages on people's. Okay, so now he's going back to his team. He's running away. He's actually controlling the Winston. The soldier ult to his left. He goes behind and actually picks off the Winston. Another key solo kill that is really makes the difference, especially if he tries to play competitive games. He has uploaded since uploading this gameplay of this tournament match. He's uploaded a competitive game that I'm going to be analyzing as well. So he's a Frogger. He's doing a lot for the support community. So again, thank you, Frogger. And there he goes. There's the Genji ultimate, and they use the Zenyatta ultimate to counter that. Now again, he's just goofing around because they've already won the fight. But he says he also does that to kind of be more evasive. I think that makes his head harder to hit. I'm not sure how effective it is, but you know, he finds time to do it. It seems like he only does it to goof around when he knows he's dead. Or when he knows he'll win the fight. So that was the game again, uploaded by Frogger. Just a few round or two of his. I haven't decided whether I'm going to upload 1 round or 2 rounds of that. The second round was kind of like a smash, but the first round was really good. Of a tournament match he had with his team, where he's playing Bodyguard Lucio, and then sometimes he'll. Once the fight actually begins, that's when he'll run forward and either bring his Winston or another flanker, DPS, or tank to the back line, or just try to go disrupt the back line himself. But most of the time, he's just staying close to his team, protecting them, and probably calling out locations as well. Just being able to survey the battlefield and go and protect who needs protecting. And this again, GrandMaster. GrandMaster Lucio playing Frogger in a tournament match. So hopefully that was helpful to you guys. That was helpful to me. Thanks for watching. This is Professor Ganymede. Class dismissed.